Hello and welcome back to the Fish Bowl. Ladies, gentlemen, friends, fish, fiend, whoever you are, welcome back. I am your today's host, Vanity, and we have our fellow talk show hosts. We got the bombastic Barracuda,
Greetings, all out there in the world of the internet.
the silliest of Squid,
Hey.
and the stingiest of Stings, Stingray.
Hello, I like to sing. Anyway, should I just get right into the rules, Manatee?
Yes,
Mayor Manatee, I like that.
yes.
Ooh.
We might stick with that for a while. We might stick with that. Because you've been called Bodacious Barracuda a few times at this point. Anyway, so, our rules. It's simple. Every episode, we don't know what's happening. The only thing we know is the amazing fishbowl will deliver us its topic with a nice fun splash. And that's what we'll talk about for the episode. Will we get off topic? Yes, it's a starter topic. We're here for fun. But we try. So, let's see what we're diving into today. Barracuda, would you mind?
Yep. And also, can we talk about those intros real quick as I pull out a topic? Squid, love your energy. So full of life.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I
Wow.
we try, but I don't think all three of us combined come even close.
No.
Alright, here we go. Oh, we've never done this before. Before I open this, who wants to take a guess?
We did guess, remember?
Vandalism.
I don't think vandalism is on a topic, and if it is, well, damn. Maybe we
Yeah.
have guessed. I don't know.
We have
I'm
guessed.
gonna open up.
Because I remember
Yeah.
the one where we. Two.
2v2.
Oh!
What's this again?
Oh.
Damn.
This
we got
is a
Mario Party.
next week episode as well. That's what that NW is, 2v2. This is where we spend the next course of the week before our next filming is coming up with stuff we set up as teams, and we do team challenges together.
Uh-huh.
However, I don't think I have to put this back in the bowl because next week we are doing already a next week episode.
No. No, this is episode
We could
14.
also set out a
I think
farther
you're mixing
date
up
for
our
it.
episodes here. By the time this one goes out, the chop video should already be out and posted.
Ah, then we can do this.
Yep.
Alright.
So, that means something like Uno Teams we could do.
That will be a discussion we have after the podcast, but that means, like before, the camera goes back on, and I have to pick a new topic.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's go with you.
Me?
Hopefully, it's not another next week one.
Well, we all know you're his choice whenever anything happens.
Base!
Ooh.
Space!
What's
What's
out there?
that clip from that movie where it's like, I'm gonna go to the place where capitalism never reaches? Space! I think about that. It's very important to me. I have never seen that movie. I only know that clip. But I do love a good space fact. And what's a good one? What's a good space fact? You guys have good space facts. Definitely jump in before me. But I am thinking about how we finally got a camera like really, really close to the sun, and we could actually. I think they might have touched the like quote unquote surface or gotten very close. It's a real interesting video, I think, from NASA. So I think that's kind of neat, considering the giant floating ball of gas in the center of our universe is just like chilling.
It reminds me on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching this story. Well, it wasn't. I think I was watching this guy or someone. Someone kept posting these stories about the planet, and he was read, it was like talking about how like the sun was the hot giant, and it was kind of like mood swings and stuff, and other planets were like, we have to like work together and work with each other, and it was just like a whole like storyline and stuff, and
Yeah.
it was very entertaining to read and watch.
Ooh.
I remember I read Jupiter. I forgot one of the planet. I think it was like past the solar system because
Mhm.
after no, it was after the asteroid belt.
I have the facts, by the way.
The what?
What?
I have the facts, by the way, Squid, of what you talked about. On December 24th, Christmas
Ooh.
Eve of 2024, the Parker Solar Probe made history by flying closer to the sun than any spacecraft in history. The probe reached a distance of just 3.8 million miles from the solar surface. Now, while that is kind of far, this is entering the outermost layer of the sun's atmosphere, known as the corona. It reached a top speed of 43,000 miles per hour, but because of how close it was to the sun, that means they had to make this thing able to withstand temperatures of 1.2 million degrees Fahrenheit.
Woo!
That is fucking crazy. I love space facts. Space facts.
Yeah, that is hot.
And this is a photo still of the corona that the picture took as soon as I can picture.
How much did you say it was Fahrenheit? Like 1 point something million?
3 million.
Billion.
No, million. It is 1.3
Was it million?
million.
Damn. So crazy.
We have nothing that can withstand 1.3 billion degrees.
B or
That would be
M?
freaking insane, man.
Wait, did you say million or billion? As in B for Barracuda or M for Manatee?
M for manatee, 1.3 million. I don't think we have anything man-made that could stand 1.3 billion degrees.
Wrong me.
Ooh.
Well, for those people who watch that prefer Celsius, that's 722,000 degrees Celsius.
Can we get that in
I
Kelvin?
just sent the picture. This is the picture. This is a still from the video that the satellite took.
Wow, that
This-
that looks like it caught a solar flare off in the distance.
Isn't
That's
that
just-
crazy? I think
the
that's really
corona.
cool.
Really cool.
This is just what the corona looks like. And do you know why it's in black and white?
Any color would have been burnt, or that's just how the light bends in space, and
Space.
it only looks yellowish.
It is so bright and hot that color pictures are impossible.
Ah,
It would just show as a white light. So they have to film it in black and white because that is the only way it will get the details.
yeesh.
That is
Honestly-
crazy.
The only thing we would be able to make that could possibly get closer to the Earth, we might have to get from some kind of extraterrestrial location that just happens to have a higher heat resistance.
Well, yeah, I feel like Manatee and I had the same science class growing up. We talked about this is like again, quite literally grade school level understanding of chemistry and science and materials. But I feel like, if I remember correctly, there's only like so many combinations that can of like material that can be made before it's unstable, and that generally applies as a universal rule, if I remember right. So I wonder like if there could be a composite or something, some formation that we just don't have here on
Yeah.
Earth.
Will
But
say, I will say logistically I was somewhat incorrect. There is one type of material that can withstand hotter temperatures that would probably be able to get to the middle of the
Atmosphere?
like area of the sun that I'm talking about.
The middle of the-
However, it is physically impossible to make a spaceship out of it. Tungsten.
Oh,
Oh,
way too heavy and dense.
Think about like, think somebody made tungsten D&D dice and they're really fucking heavy.
For those of you who don't know, tungsten is a super, super dense material. While it is super heat resistant, for example, the melting point of tungsten is, after a quick little Google search, because I don't want to get this wrong. The melting point of tungsten is 6,191 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's just the starting point. To make it like a liquid, it is so much more.
Yeah. But for most people who probably know what tungsten is, it's actually from the dumb YouTuber stuff who get like a 1 foot, like a 6 inch by 6 inch to 1 foot by 1 foot cube of it. The one thing that you always know is how dense it is. It is so hard, and it is. People make full episodes just trying to break or dent it, and they will drop it from like 3 or 4 stories. There's no damage on them. That's how durable it is.
Also,
Damn.
after a quick another little Google search, the satellite they used to take the picture, this was for lack of a better term, this was a suicide mission for this probe. It took pictures and then it died. It just could not handle the heat. Because the corona of the sun, the outermost layer, the coolest part of the sun, mind you, 1 million kelvins, or in Fahrenheit, 1.8 million.
God.
Fun fact, the corona, I was actually somewhat wrong, my bad. The corona is not the least hot of the, it is the most hot. The surface of the sun is actually the coolest of part, which is only 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
So, this probe actually has the capability to technically land on the sun and be fine if you get past the corona.
Correct. It just has no physical way to do it. Because not only are you dealing with heat, you're dealing with so much energy.
Am I also wrong to say radiation?
Radiation is not that difficult, believe it or not, for because
Well, yeah, because like spacesuits are designed for it, so you don't get. But
radiation is the one thing we kind of figure out how to avoid with space, believe it or not. Like, that was like the easiest thing to deal with. Radiation, by the way, I will say this, it's bad. It is bad. It is a thing we have the easiest time fighting off because we know what's resistant to it. We know how to shield it. The lightest layer of lead
Blocks.
stops radiation poison.
There's a reason why in comics Superman can't look through lead-lined things.
that is true. Yep.
And what I was Googling before, how dense is tungsten? 19.3 grams per cubic centimeter. AKA, if I were to have, like, give me an amount, Squid. Like, in...
Like a
Like
cubic
size.
amount.
Yeah.
I can't remember what to.
How about a 6 by 2 foot, a 6 by 6 foot cube, just for simplicity's sake, about as tall as the average man or person.
So how heavy would a 6 by 6 foot cube of tungsten be? 1,111,250 pounds.
Oh.
That puts
Oh, so
tons
like
to
kill
shame.
you levels are heavy.
Here's the way to imagine it. Cars weigh somewhere between 1 to 3 tons on average. The lighter car, weighing closer to 1 ton, can easily kill a person with just like a 1 or 2 foot drop if they're right underneath it. A ton is only about 2,000 pounds.
To make things easier, I did the math again with Google. 1,111,250 pounds is 555.625 U.S. tons, aka 555 elephants, because elephants are 1 ton each.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about like someone handing me this cube, and like obviously I could not hold that because I'm a whole person. But I'm like, I'd die.
Yeah, I think like I said earlier, though, YouTubers that get like the 6-inch or 1 foot cube of it, like those things weigh, I think, like 50 to 60 pounds, maybe a little bit more. So
that shit's heavy.
Yeah, you can tell they're struggling to do this. Some of them are even like bodybuilders, and you can see their muscles straining to pick this thing up.
A 1 foot cube, a 1 foot cube of tungsten, you could not pick up. Like, well, in theory, you could hold in your hand if it was anything else, but if it was solid tungsten, 1,201 pounds.
Oh, that's about equivalent to a car. Maybe those things weren't pure tungsten then. They were some kind of tungsten alloy.
Alloy.
Let's just say, well, think of it this way. A 1 inch, tiny 1 inch cube of tungsten is a pound.
So imagine a brick that you use to charge your phone. Something around that size weighing a whole pound. That is heavy for something that tiny.
I would say a foot. So basically, the average U.S. American foot, that's why we call it a foot, because it's about how big an adult foot is. Here, I'm a size 12 foot. That means my foot is 12 inches long. My shoe, if it was made out of solid tungsten, 1,000 pounds.
Hey guys, I have to mute really quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
But keep.
Oh no.
That is insane to me.
Yeah. It's amazing on how some things are. Like, all this things we have on Earth, it's the most durable, but we don't use it for anything because it's too heavy or dense. Hence why it's not used in space travel and things. Things need to be durable, but they need to be lightweight more than anything.
Do you guys want to hear a story of how corned beef sandwich almost destroyed a rocket ship?
Yes, please.
Corned beef sandwich.
So,
do we want to wait for Squid to get back?
Yeah, no, I'll tell the story. I'm going to do a little bit more research on this.
Okay.
I've heard of it before. I just want to make sure.
There is a spider that I must remove. It is an important space spider. But I will be back in like 2 minutes. Are you guys good to keep chatting?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, pray for me and Space Spider.
Well, one thing we can do is I can cut to when he comes back if we want.
What do you want to do?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I can cut the 2 minutes he's gone if we want.
Good point.
A few moments later.
And he is back. Barracuda, you ready for your story?
Correct. Now, so the day a corned beef sandwich almost destroyed NASA. March 23rd, 1965. The Gemini 3, a major milestone in space exploration. It was the first crewed mission in NASA's space program. Before then, they sent up probes. They sent up a monkey. This is the first time they sent humans into space.
Alright. And I'm guessing the corned beef was someone's lunch?
Correct.
Oh boy.
So someone's diet nearly took down a whole freaking rocket ship.
Well,
What
my
happened?
guess was gonna be that I think astronauts are allowed to bring like some personal item with them to space. I'm like, was this sandwich somebody's personal item to bring to space?
Or
No.
they were eating their
No,
sandwich.
what happened was,
Let's hear his story.
Yeah.
so the crew was Gus Grimson, John Young,
Just those two?
yes.
Okay.
The command pilot was Virgil Gus Grissom, and the pilot was John W. Young. They had a backup crew, Walter M. Sersha and Thomas P. Stratford. This was before we learned all of like what you can and can't bring into space and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The early trial era kind of situation.
Now, in this case, John Young, who was the pilot of the mission, by the way, purchased a corned beef sandwich from a local restaurant 2 days before the launch.
2 days before, girl.
If he keeps it in the
He was
fridge.
He was asked about it
Uh-huh.
by his. He snuck it on, by the way,
Uh,
and just as they were about to launch, he pulled it out and started eating it because he wanted to be the first guy to eat a corned beef sandwich in space.
Fair.
it's important to have a dream.
Upon noticing it, the commander, Gus Grissom, was like, "Hey, is that a sandwich?" And he was like, "Yeah, I brought it. You want some?" And they proceeded to eat it. Apparently, it wasn't even that good.
Oh my god.
And as they were eating it, the ship launched, everything was fine, until Grissom, my bad, not Grissom, Grissom,
I was like, shit, already?
as they entered upper atmosphere, noticed the crumbs of the sandwich started to float.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, ooh, this isn't good. Because here's the thing. Spaceship's full of very tiny little air filters. One thing gets fucked up, boom. The entire ship could explode. He quickly took that sandwich and shoved it into his suit, where he kept it until he returned
Buddy.
back.
Wait, he shoved it in his suit?
He got to make sure that no crumbs were able to get anywhere.
But how long were they in space for?
They were not that long. This was just to see if they could get somebody into space. It was like for, I believe, like a day.
So, there was no satellites or anything. But that's just funny. They make it up to the top where there's low to no gravity.
This was just a test to see how humans would react, and this was the first, like, this was NASA's test to see, like,
Well-
hey, can we put people in space? Do we have that capability? So they did it. Because here's the thing, because the moon landing was 1969, 4 years after this. This was testing, kind of like autopilot. Can command tower, or command
Houston.
central.
Houston,
Houston.
essentially.
Yeah, we're gonna call it Houston.
Houston, we got a problem.
Yep.
Can Houston make that from that far away, maneuver the ship in space so that it can lower onto the moon? And like, this was a testing of like the autopilot, the shuffle, the orbiting system. This was pretty much a 1-day test to get everything ready.
Okay.
And this is also how we learned bread don't do good in space because of crumbs, which is why to this day, instead of bread, they use tortillas.
That is why. I remember seeing something where like they had tortillas on a satellite at some point. It's like the space station. I
They
was like,
use tortillas instead of bread, not only because one, they last longer, but because it doesn't make crumbs. In fact, you can actually go on YouTube right now and watch somebody make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on a tortilla.
In space.
I really just make a roll up at that point.
yeah, that. Oh, okay.
In fact, I can tell you the first meal ever eaten in space.
Oh, please do. But I'll say this: the thought came to me. It's like that corned beef sandwich nearly prevented Neil Armstrong half a decade later from landing on the moon, and us probably losing that space race to the Soviet Union. Because if I remember correctly, they were the first ones to reach space with a chimp, but America was the first one to make it to the moon.
Correct. But yes, if that sandwich would have like done what it could have done and made that ship blow up, because this was around the time that NASA was starting to like not get some fun. A lot of people were starting to wonder like, is this worth it? We're spending so much money.
Yeah.
And there were been a couple explosions at this point. Like things weren't looking so hot. It didn't seem like it was going to be worth it because it seemed like we were failing. If this ship would have blown up, there is a lot of scientists who kind of agreed that the United States would have cut the funding to NASA. Be like, nope, focus on something else. This isn't working.
Yeah.
So if that sandwich, because we wouldn't have known, because there was no black box for rocket ships. They would have just thought, oh, there was something wrong with the ship. It just blew up. If that sandwich would have done what it did and made that ship blow up, there is a chance NASA wouldn't.
Just imagine sending an autopsy crew. Yeah, we're gonna send a crew out there. Test space? Yeah, see how that goes.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
No, I definitely don't blame people for being upset about like I know when space tests have to be done very carefully because if like when debris does fall, even from ships that do make it, when they like go through the stages, if it's not planned out right, a lot of people can suffer for it. I think there was I forget if it was a
I think
SpaceX
that's
launch
partially
something, but it might be
why
one of those.
a lot of landings were always at least that especially like the reason why they were done this way in movies was was because there was actual reason was why a lot of them went into the ocean. It was a big wide area.
Yep.
If they were off by some calculation that caused things to veer off course or things to break apart and spread, they're not causing as big of a destructive damage.
Yeah.
Granted,
True.
that's more of an immediate thing. We don't know exactly how that could have affected some of the aquatic life.
Fish gets fancy space apartment. Did I not tell you guys about my fancy space jump apartment?
What?
You
I
know
know,
what?
right?
You know
As a
that
squid.
explains why you have that. That's why you have that moon roof.
Yep. Exactly. Bottom of the ocean. Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, never
Oh.
really thought.
Oh, that just reminded me. You want guys? I want you guys to guess. What is my favorite animal?
Egg.
That's not an animal.
Final answer.
Okay.
I'm right.
Disqualified.
Damn it.
Manatee, what do you think
They
my
don't like
favorite
me, so I'm
animal
right.
might be?
Your favorite animal?
And I'll give a hint. It actually does have to involve with space. It technically has a connection to space.
Chicken.
No, I was gonna say. I'll say a cat.
A what?
A cat.
A cat?
Yeah.
Barracuda, you want to guess?
Involving space, I'm going to say starfish.
No. Although Staryu is a good answer. No, it's a cow.
Wait, did you say favorite Pokemon or favorite animal?
Oh, animal.
cow jumped over the moon. Seriously?
That was a connection to space. But the reason why it's
Really?
my favorite is because they taste good.
Hmm.
I'm, yeah. Yeah, I don't have the best diet. I do tend to eat a lot of more meat probably than I should sometimes, but I enjoy it. I am healthy. There's no real issues. I don't
I mean, as long as
overindulge
you're not
either.
dead.
Yeah,
Speaking
no.
of
You're
meat,
gonna
that's
get fiber intake, so you
This
don't
whole
digest
time
well.
I've just been a spirit possessing my computer.
meat is actually
Wow.
a good transition because the first meal ever eaten in space was bacon and applesauce.
Bacon!
Sauce? Really?
Don't knock until you try it.
But
I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm just like, that's what they brought to space. Wow.
Go bacon.
it's not bacon as you think it is, though.
No.
I'm about
Is it
to
like the
send you a-
dehydrated stuff, or how do they do it?
Canadian?
Oh, it's even more than you think. I'm about to send you a picture of the Apollo 11 package of bacon they sent up.
Do you think bacon or faking?
I don't know if bacon existed
Bacon.
then.
Bacon brittle?
It is. So
How does it feel
I
about it?
watch a YouTube channel. Shout out to Good Mythical Kitchen.
Love them.
They do a series called Meals of History. In this case, the host, Josh, proceeded to make food from the first ever manned mission to space with the moon landing. In this case, he did bacon bars. It is a dehydrated pork brick that they make using a bunch of chemicals to remove all the liquid. But it's not just pure bacon. It is pork products that they add fully cooked bacon to, shape into bars, dehydrate, package, seal. It is not crispy. It is pretty much a bouncy, spongy product that tastes like bacon.
I'm
Bacon sausage.
texturally, I'm a little
Bacon
concerned.
sausage, essentially.
Wow.
In a brick.
If I had to say, according to how he described it, Josh, when he ate it, more like bacon sponge cake.
I was gonna say, I don't know if we're getting into granola bar or even
So-
fruit jerky with that.
It's made
wow.
somewhat like sausage by mixing all these parts together and grinding it up. Then you add in your bacon, but then it ends up having a texture more like a sponge cake.
Correct.
Well, that is
Spongy,
fascinating.
gooey.
Okay, I kind of want to try making that and using that as the basis of a savory dessert now.
I think you gotta try.
I mean, the texture-wise, you can see where I'm getting it just from the texture alone.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I can see it, but no.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not expecting it to be a great and amazing right off the bat, but it's just, I wouldn't mind giving that a try. That would be interesting to see how it turned out.
I can't say I disagree.
You know how you said it was with applesauce? That could actually work with it because it adds a sweetness to it for a dessert. Something
It kind of reminds
apple-based.
bacon jam is a thing. I've had bacon jam in sandwiches, and that's really good.
Bacon jam.
Bacon jam's
That's
very
amazing.
simple and easy, actually. Just get some
So
shallots and onions, saute them, throw in some garlic if you want. You can throw in some red wine and some brown sugar.
If only I could cook bacon without getting incredibly nauseous. For those who don't know, I didn't grow up eating pork, so I have more than a certain amount. I get pretty nauseous, and unfortunately, the smell makes me nauseous.
Oh,
But if somebody else wants to make me bacon jam, I'd be so happy.
poor
Yes, please.
Squiddy.
So the link I just sent,
For
so the link I
Squiddy.
just the link I just sent is to the channel I just mentioned, First Meal on the Moon, and you can actually see their recreation of the space bacon, which honestly, I think they did a good job because that is actually what their final product looked like, and it looks really damn close to what they did.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest
That's-
difference is their bacon is not cut up enough to look like what it does in the picture. Like the one, the bacon bar looks like it's bacon bits kind of situation, while theirs is almost whole bacon.
And the second one I'm going to send you, they did two The first one is what the first meal on the moon is. The second one I'm sending, this is rejected food by NASA. This is where I learned about the corned beef sandwich incident. This is all foods that they tried sending into space and it just didn't work, including corned beef sandwich and shrimp cocktail.
Why shrimp cocktail?
Yeah, because
Why?
there's actually a thing. The higher you go in altitude, the less pressure makes you taste less. So things that are spicier are actually preferred by people because their more intense flavor makes up for the weaker taste buds.
My question is, why shrimp cocktail?
Why? I love shrimp cocktail. Shrimp cocktails are
No,
good.
I do love shrimp cocktail, but I don't think it travels well, especially if we're going into space.
Okay, the point about traveling well, I hear you with that. I do not think shrimp is going to travel super well in space.
Why do you think it's a banned product? Most seafood is not allowed to be transported in space because it just can't. Just can't.
It's just the seafood isn't able to. It's like shelf life and stuff is what prevents it.
Yes, and you really can't dehydrate seafood. I'm gonna be straight up, because you have to think it. You have to dehydrate this food and rehydrate it up in space. They have like a hot water injector for rehydrating food. There's a reason why you've never heard of such a thing as fish jerky.
Turkey.
Yeah, that doesn't. That just sounds off.
You really can't dehydrate food. You really can't dehydrate fish. You could dehydrate pork. There's pork jerky, there's beef jerky, there's... If they're going to send meat in space, it's usually a version of pork or beef.
No chicken?
Not even really chicken. Not even chicken.
Wow. I feel like, that's really interesting. Maybe it's just like the texture, because I feel like chicken pulls apart maybe more easily than, steak or
Chicken is a pretty lean cut of meat compared to most pork and beef.
Yeah, to be fair, like chickens are birds, and birds tend to be more delicate anyways. But like both cows and pigs are like hardier mammals, so it makes sense that they might have the structure to withstand more.
But I have one other question about the banned food that we see there. Is that a fajita on the right? Or is that like something like a gyro or whatever?
I think it's a fish cocktail.
No. It's
No.
Next to the shrimp.
A fish taco. Sorry.
Oh, fish taco.
Fish taco.
Okay. It I can't tell. It's like it could be beef. It's just hard to tell. But man.
The most common food in space is it's their version of a now apparently the reason why shrimp cocktails on there is because apparently when they ask astronauts what they want to eat in space, 90% of them said they want to eat a version of a shrimp cocktail.
Yeah. I know why.
Apparently it's because the spicy kick that helps cut through the dull taste in space.
Yeah, like I said earlier.
So they spent millions of dollars trying to figure out a way to do shrimp cocktail in space. And the way they have done it is kind of like that bacon bar you see, where it's a shrimp bar that they dip in a cocktail.
Isn't it like how when people are like, they can't really eat food, they'll just blend it into the blender? It's like, I'm having a steak dinner, and it's with like potatoes and green beans, and it's just all in a blender because they can't eat it. You're like,
yeah, some folks who can't like chew food, they have like
Did anyone watch Total Drama growing up here?
Yeah.
Owen in Total Drama Action, just like that.
Yeah.
That's immediately where my mind went.
That was a lunch.
Wasn't wasn't one of their first challenges in that show a spoof off of Alien? Like,
Can't
wasn't
remember for the life of me.
I remember that they had
Their
one where
first
like Shep was
challenge?
in like a green alien suit.
I mean,
Well-
they just had Chef doing things, honestly.
In action. I don't remember that. I know. I was thinking of the first one where they jump off the cliff.
That's Island.
I just sent.
But-
I just sent the space shrimp cocktail.
Yeah.
Man, these pictures are.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that.
It
It is
Eh.
pretty much a bag of dehydrated shrimp that is covered in dehydrated cocktail sauce. You inject the hot water, it becomes like a shrimpy
soup.
cocktail sauce like sludge that you then proceed to eat.
I would like to make shrimp cocktail now, so I can think about my version and not that version.
Yeah. I will say these pictures are a little
The other
small. I'm
thing-
gonna see if I can maybe edit in some better. Edit these pictures in where they look a little cleaner
Yeah.
for the video.
Anywho,
other-
thank you for sharing, though, Barracuda. I am
Yeah.
intrigued, but also like, good God, I haven't eaten dinner yet. This is
Here,
The other
I
most popular food in space, by the way, is called the space burger.
space
the
burger.
burger.
I like that. But
It is pretty much what you can imagine. It is a burger between two small tortillas.
quesadilla kinda. Like cross between them.
They still have condiments. They have ketchup, mustard, all of that, and they have it in their little space fridge.
Bitch.
Okay, I gotta say one
Um,
thing before we go on. I love how when we talk
Mhm.
about anything that's in a space station or anything, and it's just a normal item, we put space in front of it. Space fridge,
Spidge.
for example.
That is exactly what astronauts call. Like I've seen videos of astronauts, they call it like a space fridge.
I know, but it's like it's not any different than what it is down here on Earth. It's just built into to the side of the space station, and it's now a
Also-
space fridge.
For
Spidge.
for sleeping and stuff. Did you guys know that technically astronauts sleep standing up?
Well, yes and no. They don't sleep standing up because there is no such thing as standing up. There is no proper up and down in space.
But if you like, the way I can
They have
The
to
way I
put
can
themselves in a
describe
little locker situation, I think.
like on the U.S. space station, how they have the barracks. If you like have a square room, like if you imagine like a perfect square, there are
Uh-huh.
holes on all four sides that are rooms, and there is literally like you flip upside down, for lack of a better term, and you float up into your room that's on the ceiling. Again, there's not really a. I'm putting it in words of like gravity, but pretty much there's somebody's dorm that's on the ceiling of this like square area, but you don't feel it because there's no gravity. So technically, like on Earth, they would be like sleeping upside down like a vampire, but you don't feel it.
It's just, it's
Oh my God.
weird.
It sounds like kind of peaceful. But you ever like, if you ever like lying down in bed, you ever like get it's not quite vertigo, but like when you feel like you're about to fall off your bed, even though you're not going to.
Oh,
Also, you're not allowed to wear shoes in the space station.
That makes sense.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I would want to because, I'd rather be able to use my toes to help me grip and control when I'm going against a wall.
I'm driving
Oh,
a rocket ship with my feet.
You have to wear socks though, but no shoes on in the space station.
I would still be able to like grab something gently with my toes and get better control. But I'll say this: who here would like to go and spend a couple days in space just for the fun of it and be
Hell
able to
no.
come back safely?
If I could come back safely, absolutely. But I do think about that episode of iCarly where they like quote unquote go to space, but like in the training she like freaks
Oh.
out.
It turns out that was because she had some form of claustrophobia.
Yes, no. I'm like, well, I learned something about myself that I don't want to know preparing to go to space. I already get dizzy like spinning around in an office chair. I feel like I got COVID at some point in the past, and I'm wondering if that messed with my sense of balance a little bit.
Yeah. I'm curious if I don't think this would matter for us if we were only there for a week or so, but
Mm-hmm.
there are so many videos of astronauts either one they let go of something in the middle of talking instead of setting it down, and they go to reach back up for it as if because they expect it to be floating in there, not down on the floor because they're not used to gravity. And their body, technically their hearts, are not as strong as when they first went up, or they're just not beating with all their strength because without gravity, there's no reason to push harder to go down through the legs to bring it back up to the head.
Well, you also have like I know some folks come back from space despite like depending on how long they've been there for can come back taller.
Yes, because
But
there's no
your
compression from
muscles,
gravity.
yeah, they can start to deteriorate
After
afterwards.
3. But honestly, the thing that's the biggest issue is the blood flow not being quite as strong. Is
no, absolutely.
that right there will cause them to just randomly pass out sometimes.
That's freaky.
There are plenty of videos of astronauts doing that, but it's just because they've been up. But these are also ones that have been up like for a year or like months to a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're up there for that long, their body's acclimated to the no gravity of space.
No, that would make total sense.
Is it funny? Yes. But is it something that they need to keep an eye on? For a little bit, but eventually they get used to it and their body will acclimate back to gravity. I just know one thing. The whole thing about leaving an item in the midair and then coming back to grab it would actually be a habit a lot of people these days would be able to pick up immediately because of things like VR. There are plenty of VR games where you're playing something and you just let it go and it stays there as you go do something else and you go back to it. But that would be one of the weirdest things. It's like you have your drink just right here floating 2 feet above your head where you just grab it. Now you go to leave it there, but up on Earth like you're used to, you just created a swimming pool underneath your feet.
Huh.
I will say, I would love to do those like water bubble situation tricks.
Mm-hmm. That could be neat.
I'm curious.
I was gonna say, I do think we're getting
space station.
Have you seen that video of the guy in the grill suit in the space station?
He's chasing around his friends or colleagues or whatever.
Well, yeah, but it's terrifying when a floating gorilla, real or not, comes after you.
I know.
Like, oh shit!
Like he gets it because he does it without noticing. Yeah.
No, I said fact. I mean, I would.
Fact.
That's probably what we would do. If we get stuck on a space station, I guarantee one of us is gonna be like, "Hey, here's a funny costume." Certain places around.
I'd say there's a 50-50 chance I do it. Either I won't think of it and not do it, or I will think of it whenever I will think of it and I will have it as one of the first things I pack. I mean, when you're up there for months at a time living, everyone's gotta have fun. They can't do something to prevent you from having fun while up there, or else you're gonna go insane.
Yeah.
True.
I definitely say one thing I'd love to do is have a few hours where I could, well, I'd keep local time here, to where I could get online and do some stuff with my friends, like play. My friends actually recently got me to try Helldivers. It's definitely fun and chaotic. Like that would be something I would like to do and be like, hey, when we're in the area where you can select your mission and where you go, you're in a spaceship orbiting the planet. It's like, hey, that's where I am right now. Physically, where I am right now.
Man.
But yeah.
These things are wild and so interesting. But I do think we are at time, if I'm not incorrect.
Yeah, I believe we had gone.
Gone a good bit past.
Yeah,
We need to come back to Earth now.
Yeah, we gotta land, y'all.
yeah.
But I had a fun time chatting about space and learning some very interesting stories about
Yeah.
food in space.
Honestly, when I first got a space for this episode's topic, it was one of those things. It's like, where is this going to go? I can't think of anything at the moment. But then it turned into all of this. That's the best part about this. Like, we just need one person to have some kind of idea, and then it spirals.
And I think honestly we could even like talk about space again because I wanted to talk about black hole facts. We didn't even get there, and black holes are fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
But
I remember
no, I think
my friend had something involved with black holes back in high school.
I can put space back into the bowl.
This is
I
one
think
that
we
has
should
such
do
a
that.
fun, broad topic. I feel like it could go
Oh,
back
yeah.
almost immediately.
No, yeah.
Space is in the bowl again.
All right.
So you know what that
we'll
means,
return
people?
to outer space for another at some point in the future.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this: there is a small chance that this could actually be the next topic we draw. Don't forget, the Chopped episode. We put that one in the night before, and we drew it the next time we recorded. We could have a
That is
similar. We could have a similar event happen somehow.
Well,
We'll have to see, I guess. Yeah. I want to think if we can play any space games. That could be a cool activity.
Yep.
But you know, we'll think about it for next time. For now,
Yep.
I'm gonna go back to my cool space junk habitat in the bottom of the ocean and go to bed.
All right. We'll be back next week. Try with what we'll discuss it, and we'll be back next week with our 2v2 setup. Either it'll be one long one or maybe a few short ones. We'll figure that out for you guys.
Night, y'all.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.